Hey there, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all of you for watching. I guess I can start or should start with my new subscribe. I have a hard time saying that. My new subscribers. I believe I mentioned during the last time I had mentioned my new subscribers. Road Trip Rachel, Flash Gordon's One Record at a Time, and also Gavin T are my new subscribers. Thank you very much. I did want to mention that Road Trip Rachel, she has quite a fascination with the Beatles and Paul McCartney. So if you're into that, you should go check her out. I'll put the link down below. And let's see, Gavin T. What an eclectic collection of records, music. It fits right in. You know, it fits right. He's got some great videos. Flash Gordon, I'm not sure of your videos quite yet. I'm trying to, get caught up with everything here. But I'll put the link to all three of my new subscribers down below. So I actually shot this originally. It was a 30-minute video. For whatever reason, I can't upload anything longer than 15 minutes. And yes, I am verified with YouTube. I made sure of that last night or this morning when I got home. So I'm not too sure. So I'm going to try not to talk as much. I'm going to try to keep it compressed. I'm not going to have a bunch of facts, so don't criticize what I say because I don't have everything in this one video. I need to keep it tight. And I'm going to try not to mumble or ramble on. And I'm almost 2 minutes in and I haven't told you anything yet. So... so I had a question from one of my great friends that I've never met. I'm hoping someday in the near future. Rob in Boston. I'm sure all of you are aware of who he is. If not, his name and information is going to be down below, just so you can go check him out if you're not aware of him already. Rob in Boston, great videos. He had asked me in one of my videos recently, he had asked if I had ever met or spoke to John Fogerty. I have not. Short answer is no, I have not. What's the long answer? I don't know. So, I'm not sure if I'd really want to, but maybe I would. If I had the opportunity, I probably would. And I actually know exactly what I would ask him. Fans, probably are going to ask the same questions. How'd you get your start? Why'd you do this? But I know his history pretty well. I have been fascinated with his music for years, going all the way back to junior high, literally in junior high. I would ask him something that is very touchy. It is it's something I would like to hear from him. I've seen interviews, I've read interviews. I just want to hear it from him. I would ask him if it's true that you were not able to reconcile with your brother Tom before his death. I know it's a touchy subject. It's hard because, one, it's his brother, and two, Fantasy Records had a lot to do with their falling out. And I'd say if that is true, why not? Why not reconcile? I've read that he didn't, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say if it is true or if it isn't true. But if it is true, why couldn't you just let it go? I guess in short, one of the last things that Tom said to his brother John while he was on his deathbed, Tom had contracted the HIV virus because he had back surgery and he needed a blood transfusion, and that's how he got the HIV virus. So he was dying, and that was one of the last things he said was Sal Zance is my best friend. You know, I'd like to hear that from John's mouth. But that does have to kind of hit hard, and I understand the anger on both sides, but you know, it's to be in a career and to have that much control and have that much anger that you can't just say it's okay. No, so that's gonna be heavy on John's back. It really does, if it is true. And I know everybody is gonna probably say, "Oh yeah, it's true. I saw. I read the interview. I know. I know too." But that's something I would ask. I would like to ask him, and unpublish it. Not even say anything to anybody if I ever had the chance to talk to him about it. But it also, Rob also went on to say that, and I'm going to quote Rob, Fogerty was the brains of CCR, in my humble opinion. Yours. Absolutely agree. Absolutely 100% agree. I mean, I'm not just going to use Mardi Gras, the album, as an example. CCR needed a leader. When CCR started out, and I'm actually going to coincidentally name this video Fantasy Records, the house that Creedence built. Because they did. They signed a contract with Sal Zance, owner of Fantasy Records, because Sal Zance was their friend. They were very, very good friends. They were close friends. They were best friends. They signed a contract with him because they were friends, and there was nothing to worry about, because friends don't do what Sal Zance did in the end to Creedence. He fucked them. He did. He really, really, really screwed him. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I've read stuff on the history, so I'm gonna exaggerate a little bit here, but kind of not. Basically, in short, the kind of contract that Creedence had was so horrible. It was so bad. There was no way that the members of CCR could ever get out of it. Ever. For every song they wrote, for every song or two they wrote, they were obligated to do like 1 or 2 albums. And if they didn't meet the obligation, or if they didn't meet the contract, it doubled. And then if they didn't meet it again, it would double again. So that's 1 to 2 to 4 to 8, 12, 16. It just kept going on and on. And that's why in 1960, their debut album came out in 1968. 1969, they did 3 fucking albums. They did 3 albums. And we're not talking crappy albums here. We're talking about good albums, not just throwing together music and put it out there. This was good, solid music. Good music. So they needed a strong leader. And John was like, I can just imagine him saying, no, we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that. This is how we're going to do it. Because that's what he needed. But in the end, it ripped them apart. Because, I could go on for days about this, but their contract was so screwed. John felt left out. Whereas Tom, his brother, Stu Cook, and Doug Clifford were really siding with Fantasy for more or less siding with Fantasy, because, who knows? Who knows why? I read an article somewhere where about 9 minutes. I read an article that everybody was against John because John. They all chipped in and put their money in this account, this weird account overseas somewhere, this offshore account, and in the end, and I'm not sure if John was responsible or if Sal Zance was to blame, but they all put their money in an offshore account, and it was gone. It was disappeared. Millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars was fucking gone. Everything that John, Tom, Stu, and Doug Clifford worked for was gone. So they had to start fresh. And even after the band broke up, they were still obligated. John, and I'll tell you why I respect John so much. We have about 5 minutes left. I respect John because, after the band broke up, he still obligated to write music with via their fantasy contract, their shady fantasy contract. They which he in 2006 and 2007 signed back on with fantasy. But that's a whole other story. I'll try to touch that in a second. All new ownership, whatnot. But he was getting sued. Not only was he getting sued for sounding too much like John Fogerty. John Fogerty was getting sued for sounding too much like John Fogerty because 2 songs, one that he did for CCR, and then another, I think wasn't it it was 2 songs, and they were similar. And through all this, and it wasn't just that, it was so much other stuff, and it was it drew drawn out for years. It drew out for years until everything was set, everything was settled, and that's it. But the thing is, CCR needed a leader. CCR needed somebody to take charge, because if not, you got Mardi Gras, And personally, I kind of like the album. And it's going to sound weird. I listen to it and I enjoy it. I listen to it differently than I listen to a CCR album. I do enjoy the album, but it's certainly not CCR standards, because they all chipped in. Tom was gone, and you had Stu Cook and Doug Clifford and John Fogerty left, and they wanted to do they needed to do a song. I mean, they were obligated to write and do an album, even as Tom was gone, and John just said, "Fuck it, you guys want to put your 2 cents in? Let's do this." They all had to put their 2 cents in, and it was divided evenly, almost. Technically, John's got one more song than everybody else on that album. He's got one more song than everybody else on the album. And he said, that's what you got. You guys want to do this, do it. And they did it, and the fucking album sucked. Did not meet CCR standards, John's standards. But he's like, you know what? We're gonna go down. We're all going down all together. And then they break up, and was it 72? And then he gets his album, his solo album comes out in 73. He already had that recorded. I mean, he's such a perfectionist. He'd probably been working on it for years, and he had all the music down. To have break up in 72, and then not even a year later in 73 have a solo album already done. As a perfectionist, as John, I'm sure I know he already had all the tracks down. There's no way. He's such a perfectionist. So I got another minute or two, but I just wanted to really touch base and kind of give you my opinion on the whole, how I felt about how I feel about John and CCR. I know, Stu Cook and Doug Clifford are doing their thing nowadays, but, let's face it, John Fogerty's got 9 solo albums, 2 live albums, a couple of handful of singles, and just, he's risen up from the ashes. He really has. He continues to work. He continues to write. I'm hoping. I know that he's reissuing his solo albums now, but I just want to see. I mean, we have Wrote a Song for Everyone right here. Was his latest album, right? Did a few years back, but I want to, which was all that he basically sang with different artists with 2 brand new songs on it too. I want to see, if John sees this video, I want to see a new album, all new material, like this one right here, all new material. I want to see all new material on John's next album. So I hope that answers the question, Rob in Boston. I appreciate you asking me, and I hope I didn't go overboard with the answer. So Rob, my new subscribers, God bless all of you. If it wasn't for you guys, ladies, I would not be here. I seriously appreciate you subscribing and taking the time out of your day, out of your morning, out of your night to watch these videos. I really appreciate it. So as this video comes to an end, thank all of you, and God bless. Be kind to others. Peace.